Hi guys, today I'm going to be reading out my dream I had this morning. This is the audio version. Me and my friends all go to a Jurassic water park and we have VIP passes, so we get to go on the raft in the Plesiosaur's lake with a guide. But then something terrible happens when the guide falls off and the Plesiosaurs eat him. And then we panic, trying to get back to shallow waters. 4 people died trying and us 7 were left. We took the same risk as them and we got to shallow waters. But no way out the lake without a guide key. But he was at the bottom of the lake or Plesiosaur's belly. So we climbed the walls. We get up, but my friend Brandon fell back into the cage. We tried helping him get up, and then the Plesiosaurs jumped out of the deep water and into Brandon and ate him. It was horrible, so there was nothing left to do for him, and we walked the edge of the cage. But then there was a megalodon cage. We have to walk. We should have died, but on the other side we found the closed down, abandoned Dunkleosteus roller coaster and lake. So I went in with my friend Charlie. We found the carcass of the Dunkleosteus and pulled it up in the mud, and Charlie fell and died. I looked for him, nowhere to be seen, no laugh, no cry, no speak, no Charlie. So I climbed back up the wall of the cage and gave my friends the pieces of Dunkleosteus to chuck in the meg cage to distract the megalodon, and walked across. We got the brain, jaw and its armor plating. So me, Joe and Ash throw the jaw in and get across. Then Deck, Josh and Adam chucked the brain and plating in. Deck was lucky, but Josh and Adam fell in. Now there was just 4 of us left. We got to the main park with other kids and adults, and then we reported deaths. They will sort out the problem with the park manager and the police, they said. But then they tried to help us by making us have a bit of fun. We couldn't though. We just talked about it. Then out of nowhere the cages all smashed open because the power went down. All protection was down. Then they used the backup generator. A few lights come on near the big bounce house. Water was rising and dinosaurs were pouring in. So we climbed the bouncy house to the top. Deck tried getting to the front gate to try and open it on the small inflatables. Then the water rose once more and made it slippy, and he fell, and an ammonite attaches to his head and rips it off. All was left was his body on the inflatables. As we climbed to the top, we find a girl hanging on a piece of rope. From the drawbridge it got to the other side of the bounce house. We found some of the broken rope. Joe and Ash tied it to me, and I went down and got her, and Ash and Joel pulled me back up. Her name was Penny, she said. She was having a fun time. Then power went out. She stayed firm, hand on the rope. Then a group of selfish boys wanted to live. They shouted, "Survival of the fittest," and got across the same rope, fast pushing Penny out of the way. They said to her she was slowing them down by standing there, and that they could have died. And then they said, "So let's see your chances of living," and cut the rope, leaving her hanging there until we came. But now there was no way across the tallest side of the bouncy house. So we thought to jump, but Penny would be strapped to someone. Ash and Joe said no. Because I was the lightest and strongest, I had to carry her. First Ash jumped on the rope climbed a bit and fell onto the lower bouncy house. "Nothing we can do," we said. "Try to swim away from the dinos," we said. Then Joe jumped and didn't even catch the rope but got to the other side. Then I jumped with Penny onto the rope. I climb and I climb. Joe helps me by pulling us up, us three left. We climbed to the top safe now, but the water was still rising. We tried using our data to call helicopter, but all services were out. We just waited if the water will stop. Nope. But then there was more bad luck. The bouncy house pops and starts to deflate because a plesiosaurus named Derek from section A3 bit the pumper, which was pumping all the air, and the bottom of the bouncy house. It started to go down, but then it starts going back up again, and the whole bouncy house tips on its side. Penny, Joe and me holding on as watching others fall to their death. Penny can't take holding on any much longer, so I told her to grab my hand. She couldn't. She fell and Mushu the mosasaur jumped up and she landed straight into Mushu's mouth. So we fell, but get to the low containers near the bottom of the bouncy house. We opened one. I told Joe we can get these extra floats out and stay in the container until somebody finds us. He insisted to the top of the container and try get us on the other side of the bouncy house. So we did. Then we found our way out a hole in the wall, big enough for us to get out. It was surrounded by water. We took the whisk and swam and we got there. I got through the hole. Joe got his higher half of his body through. Then he got his legs stuck, so latches onto him, bites his legs and pulls. Trying to pull him into the water, and I'm trying to pull him through the hole. And then the plesiosaur rips off his legs, and I get Joe through. He was escorted by an ambulance and a police officer to the best hospital in the area. My leg had a broken bone in it. I wore a cast for 2 years, and Joe had the rest of his legs amputated and got metal ones for life. And then we told people our stuff isn't important. To us, the most important thing was going to our friends' funerals. We were criticised by our friends' family members, but explained we tried our best to help, but couldn't. And then we went on telling our story, and I visited Joe 6 times a week, and that's the end. Hope you like my story, guys.